International Business, Masters of Commerce, second semester, Mangalore University, session 19. Managing Global Business Risk. In this session, you are going to learn about enterprise risk management. Learning objective to discuss about the concept of enterprise risk management. Session outcome, the students are able to understand the framework of ERM. I think this image says so much about decision making, risk management, and performance. The ocean race or business or life is not about avoiding risk, but managing it. We can't always choose the weather, but we need to make best decisions to navigate the prevailing conditions to reach our objectives in the fastest time at a lowest cost, achievable whilst keeping safely within the parameters we set. Enterprise risk management. Risk management is broader area and a systematic process which helps the organizations to understand what the risks are, who is at risk, what current controls are for those risks, and then making a judgment about whether the current controls are adequate or not. If they are not adequate, then doing something more to manage the level of risk down to an acceptable and reasonable level. Nowadays, implementing a proper risk management system or a safety system within the organizations has become a legal requirement, and at the same time it is a moral obligation of organizations. To protect their employees, it helps organizations to save their costs because implementing risk management system will help them to reduce the number of accidents, which ultimately reduces the cost associated with accident investigations, compensations, impact on reputation, and above all, the management's valuable time. Enterprise risk management has recently emerged as an important and relatively a new business trend which incorporates the principles of a traditional risk management approach. According to KPMG of 2001, it is enterprise risk management is more structured and a disciplined approach aligning strategy, processes, people, technology, and knowledge with the purpose of evaluating and managing the uncertainties the enterprise faces as it creates values. Enterprise wide means the removal of traditional functions, divisional, departmental, or cultural barriers. ERM is a new phenomenon which involves risks associated with not only in health and safety and financial but also with technological, reputational, and with other business areas. ERM is encouraging the culture of risk based decision making as it provides more holistic view of various risks across the organization which helps decision making easy. Several organizations have realized that ERM has the potential to provide a new competitive advantage. As a result, they have started adopting the concepts of ERM within their business settings and are getting benefits from it. However, several other organizations are still uncertain about the enterprise risk management and exactly how to translate the concepts of ERM into concrete action steps that will help them to enhance the shareholder value. Therefore, this session will address the benefits of enterprise risk management within different business areas of the organization using the COSO framework and the productivity risk model. Also, the threats and opportunities associated with the adoption of ERM are also covered. Furthermore, this session also presents some discussions about the people perceptions of risk and why risk aware culture is essential at all levels within the organization. Lastly, certain discussions about the ongoing projects, its progress, and the future targets are presented. The Enterprise Risk Management Framework. By definition, a framework serves as a guide and provides an overview of different interconnected activities within an organization to achieve its targets. In short, a framework would help the implementation of ERM. First one is a COSO framework, and the second one is a productivity risk model. The COSO's ERM framework. In 2001, the Committee of Sponsoring Organizations of the Treadway Commission COSO initiated a project and engaged PricewaterhouseCoopers to develop a framework that would be readily usable by the managements to evaluate and improve their organization's enterprise risk management. After a couple of years in 2004, COSO published ERM integrated framework in which nowadays is the most commonly used ERM framework in many organizations across the globe. A detailed account of its several components is presented in this section. The components of ERM framework. The COSO ERM framework is a three-dimensional model or a framework for understanding the enterprise risk. It consists of 8 horizontal rows or risk components as a part of one model dimension. These components are derived from the way the management runs an enterprise and are integrated with the management process. These are: the first is the internal environment. It consists of overall environment within the organization and sets the basis for how risk is viewed and addressed by an entity's people, including risk management philosophy and risk appetite, integrity, and ethical values, and the environment in which they operate. The first is the objective setting. The overall objectives must be set before management identify the potential events that are affecting their achievement. ERM ensures that the management has in place a process to set objectives and that the chosen objectives support and align with the organization's mission and are consistent with its risk appetite. The second is event identification. Even internal and external events affecting the achievement of an organization's objectives must be identified, distinguishing between risks and opportunities. Third is risk assessment. Risks are analyzed as a basis for determining how they should be managed. Risks are also assessed on an inherent and a residual basis. Risk response. Management identify and select risk responses like avoiding the risk, accepting, reducing, or the sharing risk, and develop a set of actions to align the risk with the organization's risk tolerance and risk appetite. Control activities. Policies and procedures are established and implemented to ensure that the risk responses are effectively carried out. Next is Sixth is information and communication. Relevant information is identified, captured, and communicated in a form and time frame that enable the people to carry out their responsibilities. Effective communication also occurs in a broader sense, flowing down, across, and up the entity. Seventh is monitoring. The entirety of enterprise risk management is monitored and modifications made are necessary. Monitoring is accomplished through ongoing management activities, separate evaluations, or both. Similarly, the second dimension of four vertical column represent the strategic objectives of business risks. These include the strategic organization's high level goals aligned with and supporting its mission and objective, vision and vision. Second is operations. Effective and efficient use of its resources include physical and human resources. Reporting. Reliability of reporting and compliance. Compliance with appropriate laws and regulations and industry standards. Finally, the third dimension describing the organizational units that are part of the risk framework, that is the entity level, division, business unit, and subsidiary. Kozo believes that the ERM framework provides a clearly defined interrelationship between an organization's risk management components and objectives that will fill the need to meet new laws, regulations, and listing standards, and expects it will become widely accepted by companies and other organizations and interested parties. The, the risk model. So, this is a productivity risk model. Explanation regarding it. First is the environment risk or the business environment risk. These are the external forces that affect the organization's overall performance in terms of strategies, operations, customers, and supplier relationships, organizational structure, etc. These forces are outside the management's ability to control. As shown in the figure, these forces are the competitor risk, the customer wants risk, the technological innovation risk, the sensitivity risk, shareholder expectation risk, capital availability, risk, sovereign or political risk, legal risk, regulatory risk, industry risk, financial market risk, and the catastrophic loss risk. Next is a process risk. It involves the risks that come as a result of business process not clearly defined or poorly aligned with the overall business objectives or strategies. Customer needs are not met or expose assets to misappropriation or misuse. Process risks include 7 subcategories. First one is the financial risk. Second is the empowerment risk. Third, governance. Fourth, reputation. Fifth, integrity. Sixth, operations. And the last is the information technology risk. Financial risk. These risks occur when the organization failed to provide adequate liquidity to meet its firm's obligation or manages the financial risks in such a manner that it is seen inconsistent with the overall firm's business objectives. Some of these risks include the price risk, the liquidity risk, and the credit risk. Second is the empowerment risk. These risks occur when both employees and managers do not know what to do or how to do it. Also, when managers do not have enough resources to make effective decisions. These risks include the leadership risk, authority or limit risk, outsourcing risk, performance risk, change readiness risk, and the communication risk. The third is the governance risk. These risks occur when the organization governance processes does not comply with the legal requirements and the board directors fail to provide adequate monitoring in overall management activities. These include the organizational culture, ethical behavior, board effectiveness, and the succession planning. The next fourth is the reputation risk. These risks are related with the loss of brand image, example organization unable to perform in the marketplace. The fifth is the integrity risk. This involves the risk associated with the management fraud, employee fraud, illegal and unauthorized acts which leads to reputation degradation in the business market. The sixth is the operation risk. These risks occur when operations are inefficient in satisfying customer needs and obtaining organization objectives. These include the customer satisfaction risk, the human resource risk, efficiency risk, capital risk, compliance risk, business interpretation risk, health and safety risk. Information technology risk. These risks occur when current technologies are not supporting the needs of the business. These include the integrity risk, access risk, availability risk, and infrastructure risk. The third dimension is the information for decision making risk. It overall involves the risk that information used to support the strategic, operational, and the financial decisions is not relevant or reliable. These risks include three subcategories. First one is the strategic risk. These include the risks such as the environmental scan risk, the business model risk, business portfolio risk, organization structure risk, planning risk, and the life cycle risk. The public reporting risk. These include the risks such as the financial reporting evaluation risk, internal control evaluation risk, pension fraud risk, and regulatory reporting risk. The third, the operational risk. These include the risks such as budget and planning risk, product or service planning risk, alignment risk, and account information risk.